Welcome to the Talkin Trash Addiction Recovery Podcast. We suffered in silence. Now we recover out loud. It's showtime.
Yeah, Bradley.
Okay, am I good to go now?
Yeah.
Okay, what happened there? Hello, good evening, Talking Trashers. Welcome to episode 209. My name is Brad. 209. My name is Brad, and I am a complete shit show. Mental Health Awareness Month is coming to a close. We want to thank everyone who helped spread the message of mental health, recovery, and dual diagnosis all throughout this month.
Doing good.
Here we go, boys.
There we go.
Tonight we bring in the big guns to help us with the clinical side of mental health and addiction. This is a very special guest. She is a broad certified psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner with a master in science, psychiatric mental health nursing. Holy shit. Yeah, she is smart, let me tell you. Longtime friend of the show, Elizabeth. So buckle up for the recovery ride of your life as we recover out loud, baby. And now, to a man who parks in a driveway and drives on a parkway, Timmy Schneider.
This guy. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 209. This is quickly becoming one of my favorite episodes because I've had one of my favorite people on, Elizabeth McKeon. We'll get into her in a minute. You're welcome. She's one of the people that we addicts, we trust. And we'll get into that later and the role she plays. Let's do our preamble. Is there anything else I'm forgetting? No, everything. Preamble, and then we'll get going. Everything, I'm sure.
Recover out loud.
This is our humble broadcast, where ethics and personal anonymity are of the utmost importance. We run this podcast as an act of service to those whose lives have been affected by addiction. We don't do it for profit or notoriety. We place principles before personalities. We benefit from this podcast just as much as anyone else. We all work programs and choose to sacrifice our own anonymity to spread the word that recovery is possible. We do this thing in an attempt to show, as living examples, that no matter how far down the scale we have gone, we will see how our experience can benefit others. That's the 9th step promise. It's our creed we abide by here on Talkin' Trash. We feel called to uphold AA and NA principles. We firmly believe that you can only keep what you have by giving it away. Please join us in a moment of silence, followed by the Serenity Prayer.
God, grant us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, the courage to change the things we can, and the wisdom to know the difference.
Hey, this is where we go around and meet the team. I don't have that ready. We have a lot of rehabs watching tonight, which is a fun thing that we do. Where the hell is Meet the Team?
3-0.
I know it is 3-0. All right, let's go around and see everybody real quick. The Montreal Canadiens are losing to the
that's why Bradley looks so miserable.
Yes, I'm not happy. I put the score up right when we did the Serenity Prayer.
And it's actually funny. I put my head on my forehead, and then I realized that there's my face again. Shit.
No,
I can see it.
Who pissed in your Cheerios? Is what
That's hilarious.
All right, go Habs, go. All right, let's meet our team. Here we go. All right, team check-ins brought to you by Prairie Sky Recovery Center. You want to get sober in Saskatchewan? Go there. Willie D in the place to be. Will Duggs. He is 44 years old. He is a Georgia resident.
Looking good.
Looking good.
Yeah,
Life's going good. We love this guy. He's our glue in this effing place. Next is me. I'm a diehard Montreal Canadiens
I'm
fan.
stuck on you.
I know. I'm 43. I'm from Georgia. I have 3 years clean in July. I'm grateful to live for once, and that's a new thing for me, so that's good. Let's see. Jimmy Leibel. Jimmy is at corrections tonight, like Jimmy does. Spreading the word of recovery to kids that need to hear it. Jimmy's just laying it out flat for these little inmates. He's good. He's good at that. That's work, though. That's not fun service work. That sucks. Bradley Manscaped Field head. Bradley Star-Lord. He's 47 years old. He is from Saskatchewan. He's got 3+ clean. He's doing good. He's a huge impact on this show. We absolutely love him. So let's say hi to the boys. Hi, boys. Welcome to the program.
Hi, guys.
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
I have to admit something here.
Oh, Lord. This is not. We're not in church, in Catholic church.
I just fucking realized what his shirt meant. Like, so bare.
Are you serious? It took you this long?
It's like,
you didn't realize it till then?
You are slow. I'm
not even joking. And as soon as I read it, I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me, Brad? That's been there for 9 episodes." That's
hysterical. It's so funny. We have. When we introduce I guess you don't realize that. I don't know. But Brad has no idea about my DMX stories, Will. He said something about DMX before. And I'm like, you talking about
give it to you.
Yeah, well
on the floor.
he would come out in his boxers, he'd go to the nursing station, and he would start rapping the Bible. It was dope as fuck. I'm gonna be honest. Cool,
yeah.
Timmy got to check out his package more than once.
So anyway, I was a tech, and I would knock on the door. X coming in. He's like, all right, bro. Open the door, spread eagle, buck naked. I'm like, X, what are you doing, dude? It was crazy. If you want to watch that, it's on our YouTube. Bethany Baszler. Hi, Bethany. I know he's
What's
here.
up, BB?
We're so happy. We're so happy.
What's up, BB?
All right, what do we got going on? We do have a couple of things first. We have birthdays. So, Angela Dickey, our good friend, is turning, I think, 50. I don't remember. So, happy birthday, Angela. And happy birthday to my daughter, Grace. She turns 19 years old tomorrow. Oh, my God. So, very exciting birthday. We like doing that kind of stuff around here. All right, let's read our daily reflapjacks and get into her, huh, boys?
Okay, I got this.
I know, you're going to do good.
If you would take me off mute.
Oh, you're not on mute, Will.
Hey, Will, you can punch it yourself, too, eh?
Right. Tongue punch what?
That's okay. Okay.
Today, no maudlin guilt.
No maudlin guilt.
Mean?
That actually means about being sentimental or
I know.
tearful.
I have the definitions right there.
I had to Google it myself.
Me too.
Anyway, no maudlin guilt on May 27th for daily reflapjacks, as Jimmy would say. Day to day, we try to move a little towards God's perfection, so we need not to be consumed by maudlin guilt. As Bill sees it, page 15. Day by day, we try to move a little toward God's perfection, so we need to not be consumed by maudlin guilt. Oh wait, I read it twice. I just wanted to make sure everybody understood that one.
Yep,
no, you
got it.
When I first divorced that, when I first discovered that there is not a single don't in the 12 steps of AA, I was disturbed because the discoveries swung open a giant portal. Only then was I able to realize that AA was for me. AA is not a program of don'ts, but of do's. AA is not martial law, it is freedom. AA is not tears over defects, but sweat over fixing them. AA is not penitence, it is salvation. AA is not woe to me, it's for my sins, past or present. AA is praise God for the progress I am making today. Bam!
And there's a definition of maudlin: someone or something that is overly tearfully or foolishly sentimental. That sounds like me. Yep, there you have it. I don't know.
Sorry, guys, I screwed that up pretty bad, but whatever.
You're doing great. Nobody's paying attention. Nobody's paying
I'm
attention.
over it. I'm over it. If anybody's wondering.
Hi, Bethany Basler, Boozler.
BB up in here.
Baby, Brad read the right one. He did. Brian says, "Oh boy, Bethany loves that reading." I disagree, but to each their own. I didn't love it. Excellent, B-Rad. And Bethany says, "You did great." All right, keep it up with the comments. Is the whole thing I'm trying to figure out. So just bear with me as we.
I want to throw something out there. You know what I love that we do in our show, like. So obviously we got our viewers and people that follow us quite a bit. I think that's so cool that we celebrate birthdays and do stuff like that with everybody. Like Angie's been part of this pod. Like I've only been here probably 4 or 5 months, but she's been part of it ever since I've been here. So it's cool that we get to celebrate all that shit together. I love that.
Yes, it is. And birthdays, anniversaries, and sobriety, they all mean something. They're like They mean something to us because we've seen death and we came back from that. So. Like I said, my daughter Grace, I love you so much, sweetheart.
Happy birthday, girl.
I saw her over the weekend. She's an adult. She's scary.
So tomorrow she's going to be 19, Tim, or?
Yes, the 28th. She's 19.
Nice. That's awesome.
Hi, Julie Herbert. Welcome to the program. I hope you all had a wonderful day.
Yeah, girl.
Finally felt like summer.
Hello,
is here to
Julie.
stay. Yeah, it's warm. It is muggy here in Georgia.
That's what you got humidity.
I don't know what it is in Fahrenheit, but she's been 30 degrees Celsius here. For the last
right.
days.
Exactly. Let's meet our treatment centers. Yeah, Bradley.
Treatment facilities, welcome everybody. We always love having you. We have Victory Home, Seniority. I always fuck that one. I say the prayer every day. Treatment, Serenity Treatment. I apologize. Discover Recovery, New Hope Rehab, Sunrise Detox, Boca Rehabilitation, Lakewood, Oxford House, Surfside, Sober Living. That sounds like they got good food there. Paradise Sands Recovery, Hope Restored Recovery, The Haven Detox, Hustle Hope Sober Living, Maryville Rehab, Prairie Sky, Pinoco Mountain, and Enlightened Solutions. Thank you all for joining us, you guys.
Good job. It's hard. Reading's hard. Reading's not easy.
I'm a math guy. Okay.
All right. What else do we have to do? I want to get Elizabeth in here. Let's just chat. Let's just chat for a minute. How are you guys doing? How is everybody?
You know what? I'm having a great day, actually.
Good.
I don't want to keep bringing it up, but had a couple things come up I was, floating at a 7.8, then it started coming down to a 4, and recovery's taught me to pump the brakes and be grateful and thankful for the things that I actually have in my life that I never would have had.
Stop and smell the roses. Huh?
I had to stop and smell the farts is what I had to do. Yep.
Or Jimmy would say he tramples them. Thank you, Bethany. Yeah. Thank you, Jennifer. All my friends. Bethany is in Wisconsin. I forgot about that. I didn't forget about it.
BB.
Go Pack, go. Let's do real quick before we.
I'm doing excellent, by the way.
I don't get to you, Will. I'm getting to you. All right. Well, this is a new stupid thing we've been doing. Where's your addiction pain scale today?
Rehab.
How you feeling today? Brad, you sound like you're a 7+.
I'm not hitting hard. No, I'm not. I'm feeling like a 2 today. Low's good, right?
Right,
yeah, so
yep.
I'm getting some stuff done around the house, spending some good quality time with the wife, having some good conversations. It's feeling good and lucky and thankful and all the fucking weird stuff. So again, recovery does that to you, man. It's kind of cool. So it's pretty cool. It
certainly does. All right, let's our upcoming guest. Will, could you read these 3 names?
I absolutely can. Upcoming guest. Sunday, May 31st is Duran Fritz. Sunday, June 7th is Larry Foster. Wednesday, June 17th is Samantha Holt.
Sober
9
sister.
p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central Time.
So Jimmy is not doing his job because we have 7 open shows in June. So if you want to be on the show, It's not an exclusive partnership. We'll put anybody on. Obviously, I'm on here. Before we get into it, check out what Elizabeth does. Elizabeth McKeon is. Well, let me just introduce her real quick. We'll get her on.
She seems like the Shaznet for sure.
So here's how I want to. Well, here's Elizabeth. Addicts in real recovery. They're very finicky about whose advice to take and who's to say stay clear of and just get a prescription from or whatever. It's usually another a recovering addict in a leadership role, like how I paused to go do this. And Elizabeth isn't an addict. She's proven through her work and through us that she gets it. She understands addiction. She's smart. She's patient. She's very pretty. She's prettier than all us. She's a board certified psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner with a master of science of psychiatry. So we know people. You know what I mean? We're important around here. She's passionate about providing quality, compassionate, and comprehensive mental health care across the lifespan. She believes in patient-centered approach and values collaboration to ensure each individual receives personalized, effective care. She is way out of our league, but she's here. So let's do it.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back.
Hi, Elizabeth McKeon. How are you?
Hola.
Hey, hola.
Hola.
Yay. We're credible now. Hi, how you doing?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, don't worry. I'll fuck that up
bad.
somewhere along the line here.
Absolutely, you will. Me and Elizabeth, just for a little bit of Brian said he's just here for Liz. Yeah, most people. So we've changed a little bit. We do a lot of interactive stuff. I am all over the place. Hi, Angie Dickey. Happy birthday, sweetheart. We try to interact, but when we bring people on these days, it's been powerful. Whatever we're doing, we feel it. And me and Elizabeth, she's probably on episode 50 something around there. She was on a couple. I went to Hiawassee and I was on her show. It was a great thing. Awesome all around. So she's no stranger to podcasts and being on the screen. But what we have her here tonight for is she's a fucking mental health nurse practitioner. I mean, she's who we need. So it's awesome to have her on. I know there's going to be questions all over the place, but Elizabeth, let me yield the floor to you and just what have you been up to?
Okay, so let's go back because you're right. I was a Christmas episode back around episode 50 something, and I do want to say, Tim, happy birthday to your daughter, because I was on because I've been on twice with you, but I was on an episode where your daughter had a birthday at some point, and so I feel like I'm having an anniversary birthday with your daughter.
I love it,
which is super cool.
Yeah, because
it was exactly the same time, whatever time that was, if that was a year ago or whatever. But so just a little background. Last time you had me on the show, I was working with federal grant dollars to deliver medication-assisted treatment and Narcan to the state of Georgia, teaching basically detention centers how to develop peer support inside detention centers and get medication-assisted treatment on board before they would leave and possibly go out and overdose.
Yeah. Also
taught a lot of education about what going through withdrawal looks like for folks inside detention centers. And what I've learned is, it's not the nurses inside these detention centers that see that. It's really the officers. So we did a pilot training across the whole state of Georgia to teach detention officers, what does that look like? What are you looking at? And it's been very successful and very well received. So I know that sometimes it's looked at that rural communities don't have the knowledge or the training, and that can be the case. But I feel like Georgia's been on the forefront of some programs that have been life altering for folks that are incarcerated, and then also some of the pharmaceutical companies for long-acting injectables have placed grants in place that get folks 3 injections in place prior to going out. And they get 1 before they leave, and then their treatment provider on the other side gets the following 2. And so I'm going to be the treatment provider in Northeast Georgia to make sure that we're offering that. So get your first injection in jail for if that was alcohol or opioids or whatever the case may be, that they can have the opportunity to get that first injectable inside their detention center and then follow up with me on the other side. Now, if they don't live in my area, I will try really hard to make sure that we get that follow-up care. But
absolutely.
And then since then, so I left Healthy Georgia and I've gone on to open a practice with CNSL. That is a practice that has, I think, about 99 providers in the state of Georgia. And we are doing specialty care in, across the spectrum, treatment, resistant depression, addiction, ADHD, you name it.
Oh my God.
We're very, I see ages 6 and up, and I'm very excited to do that. I actually had to go to additional training, and I'm going to be forthright about that because kids were not my thing. I had been kind of in a special spot with addiction and probably just depressed, your typical adult stuff. And so I actually did over the summer a boot camp in pediatric psychopharm. So now I'm fully trained, not only in addiction medicine, but also to see children ages 6 and up, which is very needed only across the spectrum. But
needed, Liz, because we're not identifying this stuff early enough.
No, I mean, people have trauma, right? And so we know that the co-occurring diagnoses of substance use disorder and mental health is, they say it's 60%. I think it's more like 98%.
That's what I would say. So Bethany says that's so important to have before they leave. What an amazing work. And you're so inspiring. Angie said, thank you, Elizabeth, for all you're doing. We need more people like you. And we're all, the 3 of us are addicts. She's not. And she's successful in life by not being an addict.
I'm a family peer.
She is.
Yeah, I identify and work in the peer industry because I do have that experience from family situation. And I don't get into the specifics of that because that would really actually out my specific family. And they've asked me not to do that. So I do have, I would like to say that my specific industry, though, in detention centers revolves around the fact that I had a family member that was incarcerated and actually detoxed on a concrete floor, in a very bad way. And because at the time I was working in the industry, I was horrified that person went through that. So I take that on my heart, and I don't get paid. I don't get paid to work in the jails because there's no money for that. But I do put my heart there.
It's admirable. Let me ask you something, Liz. I got arrested in Habersham County over some nothing. And I couldn't get let out. Right. Yeah. I couldn't get out because it was Sunday, and then it's July 4th, Monday. And I'm like in there for I don't even know why. It was some clerical thing. When they told me you're not getting any of your meds, I started freaking the fuck out. The fuck out.
I'm like, take me to the hospital.
I do. Well, I did everything I could, and I got into a fight. It doesn't matter. Bottom line is, I actually got out on early, like Sunday, whatever. It wasn't a problem, but I was headed for. I'm on Suboxone maintenance, and it never occurred to me. Holy shit, I'm not going to have this one day. I figured in a jail they're going to give it all to me. It's state or whatever, but apparently not. I didn't know that, and I learned that lesson the hard way. And I haven't been arrested.
How long ago was that, Tim?
2 years.
I haven't been arrested
2 years.
since.
July of 24.
So yeah, I think you and I were in connection at that time. At the end of the day, what I will say about that is I've been doing a lot of educating, inside the Georgia detention centers, because what I did learn is, and I'm gonna try really hard not to call out like names of like agencies and whatnot, but there is a parent agency, and you can Google it, that does the medication management in all these Georgia jails. And what I learned was they are the ones that call the shots. It's not even like it's not even like the sheriff or like the chief deputy or the captain. And it's really, and so when I first started talking with this doctor that's this parent medical agency, he was like, I will not let you come in even with grant dollars and give medication assisted treatment unless it's naltrexone. And I was kind of like, okay, so just for the listeners, naltrexone is really used in alcohol use disorder, and it's just like a deterrent, and it cravings, helps with cravings. And so that would not work for, I mean, it could, a little bit work, but it's not going to help the withdrawal of a person who's been on long-term treatment for opioid use disorder at all.
Nope. And not at all. I wasn't scared. I'm pretty tough, but like I was angry. I was like, this is ridiculous. I like something's getting overlooked, and I got out.
Can I add something to that?
Go ahead, please. Will knows all about jails.
Not to distract, but to I guess add on or tack on. So yes, I live in Georgia. Yes, I have HIV, but do you know that when I go to the same jail, I've been to the same jail, that I have taken my HIV meds there, that they will not, when I go to intake and they know I'm going to be there, they won't give it to me until after they've done my blood test to prove that I have it. Now listen, so, and then if I want my medication, I have to bring in a 30-day supply that has not been opened. And guess what happens if I get out 4 days later? They don't give me back. Do you know how much that medication costs? It's like $3,800.
I know.
A month. So, I mean, and last time I was in jail in a certain county here in Georgia, they didn't give me my medication for 13 days.
Jeez.
They refused it to me.
Yeah. Wow. So that's a fact, and I can verify that is so, unfortunately, and that actually doesn't come again from the actual sheriff's department itself. It's coming from the healthcare agency that is the contractor inside there that creates the.
All about the dollars.
Yeah.
Terrible. Yeah.
Yep.
And I was just gonna say that sounds like a money grab type of thing, right?
They have no money. I will tell you.
They don't have any money. They're broke.
These sheriff's departments are at actual $0, and I can go in there and say, "Have you applied for opioid abatement funds?" And they're like, "What's that?" And I'm like,
"What is that?"
They have no clue.
I do not know. Like,
so they also need some guidance and direction on how to get the right avenues to help with money and funding and programs and stuff like that, obviously, right?
Yeah, and I know when I went into the a local sheriff's department, try not to call anybody out here, but I was well received. They A, didn't know what the opioid abatement dollars were. B, said our number one new thing to do, since we had this sheriff over here that did the following things, is that we want to make sure that we're addressing like mental health, addiction. And so I immediately brought up like, well, what are we doing locally about Kratom and the deltas inside the gas stations? People are not well. And they already had created a task force. So I was like, okay, so they're kind of trying to maneuver and manage quickly here. So I do think, like, I'm trying to be positive about the state that I live in here. You know, I know I'm sorry to anybody that has had a bad experience, because I personally also know that to what you were just saying is that also their schizophrenia medication or antidepressants, definitely ADHD is not going to be continued. They will not look at that at all.
Not even close.
But like, no, that's a no-go. That's not even a starter.
That's a hard pass.
And so real quick, in New Jersey, I got locked up twice in my life. Once down here and once in New Jersey. It was both for a day. In New Jersey, they're feeding me Ativan. Like, I'm barely in the cell yet. They're throwing benzos at me because I guess I had alcohol in my breath back then or whatever. You know, I thought, wow, jail's great. They just get you high and you don't withdraw and you get
welcome to Georgia.
And then I come to Georgia. I'm like, holy shit. And I'm staring down the pike of this 4-day, no medication at all scenario. And, you know, I was was getting ramped up for it. It just didn't happen. But like, that's scary. So like Will said, they'll keep your meds if you go through that. They'll hold on to them.
Yeah. I mean, that's my case.
I think everything's kind of.
I have seen a scenario of seeing a individual. I'm going to try to change the scenario so I don't violate HIPAA, but like a person who was in the worst pain you can imagine, like on a scale of 0 to 10, like he was an 11. And he was really trying hard because he was in the treatment court. Yeah. So there, if you look at I love the faces, the faces pain scale for addiction is great.
I know. Look at who sponsors in the upper right there.
IOP, that's awesome. This fellow had cried in practice to me, and he was like, I don't want to do fentanyl. He had tested positive for fentanyl. He was on medication assisted treatment, but that his pain was so bad, like he needed a bump. And I was okay with that. Like, I appreciated his honesty, and I told him like, yes. And he cried, and he's all broken, from, all the things that have happened to him physically. And I was like, it's understandable that your pain is so bad. And then I also reminded him that opioids do create pain. So there's that. So
I want to look at this real quick, if you don't mind. Not this. What the hell with this goddamn thing? Right here. So for addicts in recovery that have chronic pain, I'm one of them. So like, I listed these off of the top of my head. Like gabapentin's a big deal thing now, whatever. Yeah. But like, honestly, like these 4 and probably a few others are really all you can take, or Suboxone too. But like, you can't take Vicodin anymore. You can't take benzos to take the edge off. It's difficult. And so how do you deal with people that have like pain and addiction issues?
Okay, so I'll come right back to that. What I was going to say was that
I'm sorry.
Fellow went to jail, Tim, and he was cold turkeyed off his Suboxone and was not even given a Tylenol. So now going back to that, so I'm just saying that's the things that happen. And I think that's why sometimes when people get out of jail, they scramble for the I've got to get to my medication, even if it's off the street. And so that's terrible. But going back to the gabapentin, which is Neurontin, and the Flexeril and all the different things that, Tim, you can put it back up if you want. Those medications are the new way that providers, because there's a thing now called the PDMP. I'm sure you guys know about it. Yeah. So I'm required to pull that before I see anyone in practice, and it tells me if my client is actually maybe getting prescriptions from multiple places, and that would only be in a narcotic way. So they would only be looking at like opioids, benzodiazepines, any type of narcotic in general. So with that, so then I have that right in my face with my client, right? You're either good or not. And then we'll talk about that if they have like what I call like maybe doctor shopped. Then I really want to talk with that person and find out more about what they've been through, or if they've been judged, or how they felt in their past, and if they felt like they can go back to that provider. So I deal with it that way. But those drugs that you just listed are great options. But with that said, depending on the state of the person's pain and possibly their substance use disorder, those 4 medications would actually not help them. Right. So not in chronic pain, right? So they're all good options to help. But the problem is, like with chronic pain, we have to move towards more like Suboxone, long term. I won't be prescribing methadone, but I have a connection next door that does. And that's just because the dosing module on methadone is it's like you got to come in for your dose, and it takes time. And so like for me, I can prescribe it, but like I can't in my current practice. Right. You have to dispense it a certain way. Take homes, all that shit.
So
And
Suboxone is a new thing, really.
And honestly, most of the time, those folks cannot afford that module. Like, that's
Right.
kind of like, oh my
Right.
gosh, like I can
Yeah.
prescribe things that cost people $4 a month for
Right.
a long-acting injectable. If they're on Medicaid, they can get it for almost nothing. You know,
Yeah.
so
So
I
you're
feel like,
you're talking about Vivitrol with the long-acting injectable, right?
well, there's many. So
Oh, I don't know. I only know Vivitrol.
so there is long-acting buprenorphine, and there's
Okay.
long.
Oh yeah,
Now,
Sublocade. Yeah.
and then there's Brixadi, which is another long-acting buprenorphine, and it comes in a tiny microdose. It has a little tiny needle. It doesn't make that big bolus
Yeah.
that a lot of people don't like with the Sublocade.
I'm always afraid, and I experienced it, getting hurt while on Suboxone. I flipped a pickup truck, I broke my neck. I wake up in the hospital post-surgery, and I'm in horrendous pain. I'm also detoxing. I don't know what the hell's going on. And
You probably got put into precipitated withdrawal, to be honest.
probably, they had an anesthesiologist come in and titrate me up to like 40 milligrams of morphine. Like he didn't feel comfortable. It was a whole thing. I'm like, am I the first guy in Suboxone to get hurt?
Someone did not know your correct medical history and put that in your body, and it created what we call PAWS, which is precipitated withdrawal syndrome, and it actually can make you. It can really put you in a bad way. And I'm sorry that happened.
Precip is worse than the regular withdrawal. I go through regular withdrawal over precip any day. I know it. Yeah, it's Brad. Just so you know. Like I take a drug called Suboxone. It blocks opiates. It helps me rewire my brain, all that shit. You know, if you've taken it, you're still in your system for 72 hours. But like people who mess around with Suboxone, they're constantly going in and out of what we call precipitated withdrawal. So if
you can't take the heroin, you gotta wait to do the heroin, but there's a time frame between it.
Yeah, you can, and you have to wait, and like you know, if you take and. Everybody, when I worked at treatment, everybody's like, wait, I'm 5 days. I'm good. Now I can take it. They take it and they go into precip. It's brutal.
Yeah, I mean, what I do, guys, just so you're aware, if you come to see me, I'm going to titrate you on either film or orals over a period of time before you will ever receive a long-acting injectable. I'm going to care for you in that way that's not going to happen. And you have to have a provider that actually really understands about PAWS, because that's a whole thing. We could do a whole show on
we could. Absolutely.
So for me on this, honestly, like I'm going to be straight up honest, this is super educational for me because I was a cocaine user and all the old school type of drugs, I guess I'll say, and alcoholic, and I'm old. Yeah, go fuck yourself, Will. And so this is super educational for me because I don't take any pills that I need. Like I shouldn't say I don't need to, but I don't right now. So I'm completely sober, and I'm not saying that in a bad way or anything. So there's a lot of these things you guys are talking about, I don't know. And so having you on, Elizabeth, for me in recovery to deal with other people that are dealing with this is super educational for me because I'm learning things today. And obviously you heard my English in the background. So a lot of these words I have to spell them out slow. But
I like the fact that you called me a broad.
No, I think he read something wrong. I'm not sure.
It was supposed to say board, and I read broad.
Board, yeah, it said broad. I'm like, oh my god,
I fucked up for sure.
I'm like, she's gonna leave. But
I'm like, what a broad this Elizabeth is.
Quick question though. Is that because it's so much more prevalent here in the United States versus Canada that they don't see that? Like
a lot of things are.
I don't know. I know a couple things like Elizabeth said, which I think is absolutely fascinating. Like so, and I'm only going on from what I took. So there's probably government funding out there for different situations and all that. But the thing that I don't understand is if those options are there for people. The shitty part is you need someone like Elizabeth to find them to show people that this is available. So to me, that's what I mean. You got to have someone who gives a shit. And
thank you, Elizabeth.
So thank you, Elizabeth. So from what I'm taking from that to me is a very sad situation because you only have so many Elizabeths out there, and there's probably so many options and so many different avenues and things that people can do. And it's not nobody's fault that they don't know. They're just not educated because nobody's educating them because there's not enough people out there that care to spread the fucking word, right? So I think we see a little bit of that in Canada, but I think, yeah, it's a sad situation because I think if things are available, they should be broadcasted to the world because there's so many people out there that have problems that don't know what to fucking do, right? That's the scary part.
Right. Yeah. Liz, so so you're dealing with, I'm sorry to cut you off. I'm the worst podcast host in the world. I
did it too. I did it too.
That's all right.
All our ADHD.
Absolutely. So we can look at ADHD treatments. Will, can you tell? No, I'm just, no, we're not.
Oh, yeah. So I take Adderall, I take Vitamin.
Do you want? Well, yeah, whatever you want to talk about, Liz. I can pull up anything. We can do benzos.
I can kind of do a overall coverage. So I already know those slides. So let me just kind of go through the spectrum. So first of all, it's important to know that Ativan is and Librium, those two medications, and Librium's not a benzo, but there's two ways to really treat alcohol withdrawal safely, because I think it's really important to know that in detox, you're not going to die from coming off of opioids. You might feel like you're going to die. You're not going to die from coming off of meth. But there's two drugs you can die from coming off, and that's going to be a benzodiazepine or alcohol withdrawal. And there's only a very small way to come off of benzodiazepines and alcohol, and they're treated identical. And benzodiazepines takes the longest. It's the longest taper of all.
It's brutal.
So starting with alcohol, Ativan is a short-acting benzodiazepine. You see it right there, lorazepam. That's going to be your number one way to treat alcohol withdrawal effectively and keep someone from having a stroke, a seizure, or a heart attack, or all three as they're coming off of alcohol. Alcohol is like the number one most dangerous thing. We really minimize across the world alcohol, not only its usage and the withdrawal process. It's the most normalized
because it's so socially acceptable
thing that people can do to have a good time, right? So with that said, the detox process, it takes about 7 good days. But I feel that the average person after that 7 days tends to, without a good program, I really heavily suggest 90 and 90, which is 90 meetings in 90 days. And I actually feel like on that, and you guys can speak to this better than me, that just needs to continue to be the program. And I know for a lot of people, like AA is not their thing. I know a lot of people that feel like, hey, it was the original thing and it works. And so I feel like, though, any program you can get into, whether that's all recovery, celebrate recovery, I don't care what kind of recovery, like whatever your program is, you got to have support with whatever your treatment is. And
absolutely,
that's really the 90% of your treatment and recovery is not going to be me. It's not going to be medication. It's going to be that support from people with lived experience. And that's the most important part.
And that's where there's kind of like a divide sometimes, but like addicts will trust other addicts over a doctor any day. Like, I don't know why we do that. We're just assholes. But like, to know that, we see how difficult it is to tie in mental health and addiction. It's like all kind of coming together, and we're kind of like at the precipice, but like the overall system isn't like perfect, right? You get out of rehab 26 days, you're in a sober living, you're going to AA, you're like that's not our system for recovery isn't great, but if you follow it, there is stuff to get out of it. Now, I went to sober houses, I did 90 and 90, I did all that stuff, and I grumbled the entire time, but once I did it, I was like, holy shit. I don't care that they're chanting a prayer before. That guy just told my fucking story. Like, and boom, I'm in. And like that's what addicts get out of. They get out of treatment and they'll go up in that bed and they won't come and they won't go to meetings. They won't see doctors. They won't take care of their mental health. They are on the road to a relapse. You can see it a mile away. You can't do anything about it. It's frustrating.
But
like,
that's what it's about too, Tim. Like you just said, and Elizabeth said the same thing. Like I'm glad you brought that up too, Liz, because it isn't just AA, and it's find something that works for you. And I'm just saying this to the audience because like this is how I feel. You know, there's 100 ways to skin a cat. We just want a bald cat, right, Tim?
Bald cat.
So I guess what I'm getting at is, you know, the smart recoveries, all the different. Who gives a shit what you go do?
Shit. Yep.
As long as you go and do it, and as long as you find people that are the same mind and the same type of things that you're going through, that's what it's about. It's about the support. And it's about knowing that you're not alone. When you can deal with this recovery thing with someone and other people, that's how you get healthy. So I don't give a shit if it's AA or whatever it is. Just find what works for you and work with people that are working the same type of program that you want to work, and you will get sober if you want to. That's how I feel.
Right. One more thing I wanted to say about the class of benzodiazepines, I think is super important, and we will not get through all the classes of drugs in one podcast. It's just too comprehensive.
Way too many.
But benzos specifically change in the way that they work with older adults.
Yeah.
So what we find is that these older adults, 55 and older,
what do you mean older?
Opposite reaction. They're having increased anxiety. They're wanting more. I need more of my benzo, you know, and you find that the doctors are now wanting to taper them off as they're approaching 80 years old. And so the way that I treat that is like, look, you're 75 to 80 years old. We are not going to probably taper you off of this as you age out in life.
Torture this guy.
But what I won't do is start you on a benzodiazepine for whatever your anxiety is. I tend to use beta blockers. I'm a big fan of propranolol, which is a beta blocker for blood pressure. I'm going to slow your heart rate down, like keep you even keel. I will all day long give you some Vistaril, some, you know, antihistamine.
All those things we like.
Yeah, that's me. Oh, there you go. Hey, look at
you. We have 97 more slides we got to get through. Have to get through. I'm just kidding. This is
Tim.
Just a joke. So I wanted to. I know I'm the worst.
You just like.
Turn it off?
No. You could have wrote my book for me. That's fine.
I am going to help you. So, all right. So I want to go back just to benzos real quick. I want to just share a story that I know about. I was in my first time in treatment. I had my roommate was a benzo guy, and I watched him get worse in like 30 days. He is an absolute mess. They've tapered him off with Librium. Like when other people are dancing, having a great time, they're sober, they feel alive again. He was miserable, and I watched it unfold. And then I knew to watch for benzo people, and they don't have it easy. I'm not even sure that they get over it. But maybe I don't know.
I can tell you, Tim. Thank you for bringing that up. If I have a benzo client that's on like, hey, I'm on like a pretty high dose. I'm on like 3-4 times a day. It's going to take me like 2 years to taper off. And unfortunately, in treatment centers, they actually try to taper these people off in like 7
in a month. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's
how long?
A month. It's
in a week.
It's absolutely not okay. It's these people can get into trouble with blood pressure, seizures, heart attack. It's not okay.
And we can go on about like
but insurance driven.
Yeah. Yep. And like, you know, we can like figure out how to fix recovery all at once. The bottom line is there's cracks in the system. There's cracks in any system, and our job is to navigate it and give people information. So I went from A to B going 9 different places. Now I can share on how to get from A to B. So like, and with addiction, time is precious. Time is, like, if you don't strike while the iron's hot, catch that lightning in a bottle, that addict's going to die. They're going to walk right out and die. So if you can get them into a program quickly and treat them now, like we can go on about kratom, we can go on about stimulant withdrawal. There's no real detox for that. Like the system isn't great, and like Well, Will, did you ever go into a detox and not?
Oh yeah, actually, back in like the early 2000, like
Ah,
2001.
that's
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, it's a whole different
yeah, I
world.
did. But
Whole
no,
different
actually,
world.
I want to say one thing real quick because I've been thinking about
You're
this.
good.
Like,
Of course.
so Elizabeth, what I mean, like what you do or what you've been doing, like coming from somebody that's been to jail a plethora of times and have spent plenty of time in jail. I mean, it is it's a blessing that like someone like you, because do you know how many times I've had a cellmate or someone in the bunk next to me that is withdrawing, that is coming, but they can't cohesively say that when they're coming through intake because they're in the you know what I'm saying, or
Yeah.
either they don't want to say it and then they're sitting here. I mean, like, and it's a fucking shit show, but you know when everybody else does, and it brings this, it changes the whole like level of
It
like,
does.
in jail, you know.
So I think that's where it's super important to teach on this level to detention centers on a high level why peer support intake is really important. If you have a person with lived experience that can help in the intake process prior to their processing, right? Because what we need to actually know is are you actively using, which means that they could possibly go into withdrawal. So you're saving
And a lot of people won't admit it either because they think they're getting in trouble.
Get in trouble.
Right.
Yeah. Don't tell the cops you're doing drugs, you know.
Yeah,
So
right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So if we can determine in intake through a peer support specialist that you're on mental health medication, that you might possibly have a Xanny bar in your hoo-ha, you know, like whatever. Like if we
I don't have a hoo-ha.
if we can just get to the bottom of that, we
Yeah.
can offset a lot of, actually, if you put it in their pockets, right, their dollar pockets, that we can save you not only quality measures, you've got less, folks.
Your inmates are going to
passing
act
away,
right.
You know, and the outcome for the person on the other side when they get out for recidivism back to jail has now lowered. You know, I think that's like the key. That's the kicker.
You want to know one thing that makes me so mad though about that, the being in the jail or whatever system is? No, seriously, is that if you to even qualify as an inmate worker? I mean, most people, if you're going to spend time, you want to be an inmate worker, right? Because you get benefits. You get cut off right away if you take any mental health meds or any kind of medication like that. You are denied. So you got to think there's a lot of consideration to people that come in there that know they're going to be there, that they don't say anything because it's perks, you know.
I've been told that, but I've also been hearing that could be changing.
Good.
So I'm hoping that's the case. I also did want to say, I didn't want to give benzodiazepines no credit for what they can do for people. Benzodiazepines actually have 100% the best market for alcohol and the taper of other benzos in withdrawal. So they have a place, and I also will use them very short acting for a absolute panic meltdown attack where someone is like, if someone's like suicidal in a complete like total episode, I will give you like a 3 or 4 day supply of that post discharge. So it does have its place. Short acting. That's so.
Let me ask you, Liz, the benzos, since we're talking about them, when you're coming off benzodiazepines, why wouldn't like a treatment doctor or nurse prescribe Xanax? I know they don't. I'm just wondering, like, does it act differently than Ativan and Librium, or you'll never get Xanax in rehab?
It has to do with the half-life.
Right. It's quick acting, right?
A very short acting. That's really like the one that I'm going to be like a go-to with.
Yeah.
I don't really see a place for Xanax in anyone's life.
2 milligrams of Xanax is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Those bars. Yep.
And it's usually like.
What about Klonopin?
Klonopin is different.
Klonopin works a little differently, and it also is more short acting.
Yeah.
I just tend to go with the Ativan. It's just more the norm.
Yeah.
But
for
yeah,
acute
I think
situations.
the only one I would say that I would be like cleary of is going to be the Xanax.
The Xanax, yeah. I mean, like it's a tool in a lot of rehabs. These people,
it is.
You know, and it's got a place for sure. But addicts, for some reason we love benzos, and we don't even know it until we take it. And we're
Baron
on
and
it for 2
Xanax, you
months.
done stole everything out your house. Like
Right.
your house.
Exactly.
Well, I think if you think about it, I think we had a fun conversation about ketamine one time, me and you, Tim. But at the end, and because I do use ketamine in my practice for treatment-resistant depression, and of course, I always screen for substance use disorder first.
Yep.
But I think everything has its place, right? Like I have bravado.
Time and a place. Yeah. Yep. I completed the ketamine therapy since we've talked. I did one a month for a year.
And he's purring like a kitty.
I'm all right. You know what I mean? Like I'm not. I am. Okay. I'm not.
Uh-huh.
I was never good. I was never comfortable in my own skin. And here I am. I'm 3 years sober, and I've been working on my mental health the entire time, trying different meds, doing all that shit. And to hear that, like, you know, you're out there doing this for people, it's so important, because people don't know how to advocate for themselves. They don't know what Flexeril is and milligrams are, and you know, all that shit. They don't realize. So they need a helping hand. Bethany says, Elizabeth, you are absolutely amazing. Thank you for being here, sharing with us, and the support you give is so needed and admirable. Thank you. I appreciate you. Absolutely. Everything isn't for everyone. It's so refreshing to hear that perspective. Bethany's a good fan of ours. Yeah, I mean, people don't know. That's Bethany right there. Bethany Baszler, girl.
Baby.
People don't know how to add. Like, I know exactly what 0.5 milligrams of Ativan is going to do with this, that, and the third, whatever. Yeah, make you feel great. So, like, but it for addicts, when you're an addict, if you're an alcoholic, so many alcoholics turn to benzos because now it's like a pill form alcohol. And it's like, I can just do this. I'm not drinking. I don't smell. I'm just popping pills. And like, you know, benzos are dangerous, and they have a place for sure. Because like, I would tell people the worst advice. I'd be like, you're going to rehab for opiates? You might want to take a shooter or a ball before you go in there. Give it a little something else. That was my advice to people. It's ridiculous, but it was great advice for me because it got me through a detox where I had extra Librium. Whatever. Don't do that, people. Do it the right way. But like, I'm just saying, like, there's practical uses, and there's a time and place for everything. No, you can't get ketamine treatment when you're in jail for 7 days, but like, you know, you can build that life for yourself. And I'm living proof. We're all living proof that, like, if you take time and look at yourself, you can figure it out. I did that. Liz, have you ever done this? I did this, and it changed things for me a little bit. They test to see what drug would work best with your body or whatever.
Yeah,
so
there's a couple of different gene testing. I use that in practice. Yes.
Cool. That's good, because like I worked in treatment. When I was in treatment, they just throw pills at people, and they're just like, you know, Wellbutrin. I would see somebody get put on Wellbutrin and feel fine, and then 3 days into that, they're freaking the fuck out. So like, it's a tough terrain to navigate, and you are our champion. Because I don't know, like, there's not a lot of money in addiction recovery. There's not, but the attention's starting to turn. Enough people are dying to get attention. Oh my God, Chuck Knipp has been an RN for 40 years. He swears people know more about medications than ever. Yeah, Chuck, like you Google it, you know. Oh, look, I found a pill. Round white M21. Oh,
yeah. I mean, people are just Chatgpting their treatment, which you know, I mean, I guess dangerous. Can have its place, but also scary. You know.
It is. Yep.
You're right.
It's definitely scary.
It's always right.
Yeah.
So I'm going to tell y'all a story. And
please.
This is what you should think about with Chatgpt.
Gotcha.
I was thinking, like, I'll do a shortcut with the book I was writing, and I put my manuscript into Chatgpt on a paid version, not a basic version. So I'm like, I'm paying for this. It should help me edit it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
Destroyed it.
Yeah.
It destroyed my book.
Yeah. I don't think, like, I'm using it, but like people, like, they become AI graphic artists. Oh, look at me. I can do. I use all this stuff as a tool, not my main thing. I use my brain is my main thing. But to be honest, most people in recovery, 20 years old, they don't have much of a brain going on there. So it's something you got to work towards and fix. It takes a long time. I'm on 6 different medications. I'm comfortable on them. I sleep at night. my pain is managed a little bit. Like it took a lot of time to get to this point. I had to do this test to figure out that Zoloft was the best for me. For a long time, I diagnosed myself based on sexual side effects on the medications. That's the med I would take. Well, I'll take that. I don't have any sex. Tell where my head was at early on. So like I really looked and like, I did what my doctor said. I seek out. You have to advocate for yourself. Chuck says everyone used to tell us I take a white pill and a blue one. I think they're for my heart or nerves. Yeah, that sounds
The blue
about
one is
right.
probably not for nerves.
No, definitely not.
Well, it's for a big nerve.
It calms your nerves when you see it working again.
Yep. So let me just ask real quick about before I lose you. Like for sleep, addicts are famously bad at sleeping. We have sleeping problems. Now I've figured out what works for me, but that may not work for everybody else. Seroquel has been a blessing.
Lord, no.
I've tried every one of them. Remeron, I trialed that for like a year and a half. Like
you can get Remeron in jail. They'll give you
Okay,
in
take
jail.
the Zyprexa off that list, please, because
I
that
can't.
is an antipsychotic.
Oh, well, that's ChatGPT for you. So,
Yeah.
Right?
well, that could have been me
is
too.
Not accurate all the time.
Take,
It is
yeah,
some
take-
dummy missions.
All right,
ChatGPT
Yeah,
is tough.
let's
Yeah,
talk
it's-
sleep.
Let's.
Just talk sleep. I'm
Yep.
gonna give you the skinny on my top 3.
Got you.
Now, I'm a minimalist, and anybody that comes to see me knows that they're either going to leave my practice with 0 prescriptions or it'll be 1.
Everything.
Because
Yeah.
I prescribe 1 med at a time, because otherwise I won't know
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
what's
broken,
working.
right?
And
Yeah.
if you prescribe more than 1, you as a practitioner will not know which one was working.
Right.
So I am not a person that will prescribe to you multiple medications.
Good.
So my first go-to with sleep is if you have not tried melatonin, which is a natural hormone that your body makes for sleep. And especially if you've done shift work, your hormone can be messed up. So I will tell you to take 3 to 5 milligrams only, because it comes in all the way up to 20 milligrams, which can be a melatonin overdose. People tend to go into the store and think that like,
I know. That's me. You're looking at him.
Yeah.
Look at-
Hit her hard. Yeah.
20 milligram melatonin. There it is.
Yeah, so 10 to 20 milligrams of
worst.
melatonin is what we call a melatonin overdose. It can cause bad dreams, a melatonin hangover, headache, so on and so forth. And
I think you just treated me. You just diagnosed me and
melatonin-
treated me.
Tiny amounts of melatonin work best. I take 0.5, half of 1 milligram, and it will knock me out. So when I tried more milligrams, I got no sleep, had a headache, felt like shit.
Wow. No shit.
So I'm just giving you an idea of how melatonin works, because it's this natural hormone, right? You can also take that for anxiety, by the way.
I'm stupid. Yeah. So I have a whole collection. I have my dad on it. He's
Stupid,
sleeping.
by the
Everything's great.
way.
I know, it's ridiculous. I have, like, if
We
I
have
showed
Dr.
you,
Tim here.
well, I'm keeping my dad alive. That's for sure. It's like, I didn't even think about melatonin. I have horrible dreams, right, Will? I dreamed that me and Will are
No, we
saving
had battery
babies.
baby. Have you heard about battery baby?
Oh my God, shouldn't want to know about battery baby. I've had some crazy dreams, and I just chalk it up to I'm crazy. I didn't think that taking 4 melatonins might be the problem.
I thought you were just astro projecting. That's all.
Yeah.
Well, I just,
Bad.
Nope, don't do it.
Okay. So the next one that I would prescribe would be trazodone.
Oh,
Yep.
Lord, that's tough.
And trazodone needs to be also taken
Moderation.
so they come in kind of like this interesting shape. They look like an octagon. And I always tell people, trazodone, the way I'll prescribe it to you, I want you to take it in nibbles, because if you take the entire prescription, you might be pretty zoned out the next
And drunk the next morning.
There's certain things you
Right.
can't take too much of. And
Quick-
like when I was on Remeron, Mike Oxley, now this is Mike Oxley, take
know
it for what it
Mike.
is. But Mike, when he was my nurse in detox, he told me Remeron works best at lower dose. You're on 45, you should be on 15. So I went down to 15.
Yeah,
I don't know.
he's not wrong.
Yeah, I looked that up too. But yeah,
Question:
I mean,
what milligram trazodone would you normally prescribe somebody for
Like 75 milligrams, and
So
then
they put me
would,
on 150 at first, and then 300 a week later.
No, I would go 75 and break it.
Yeah, because I mean, like, let me tell you, when you want to talk about feeling drunk the next morning and like the dreams, and then you wake up with the,
When you
morning,
say
I
when
tend
you,
to see, I don't know. I see practitioners prescribing more, and I trained under a psychiatrist about 10 years
Yeah.
ago that taught me the less is more and don't prescribe more than one med at a time theory. And that's just how I operate. Like, I'm just not going to do it.
No.
I when I hear people, oh, there you are with your see how you have Zyprexa right here, olanzapine
I know.
under schizophrenia. You had it for sleep.
I know. I made a mistake.
It's okay, Timmy. It's probably could make you sleep, because I have given that when somebody's I almost said a bad word. When someone's coming at me and I've had to help them come down, I have
heavens gracious.
olanzapine. But I would not prescribe it for sleep. I definitely will prescribe it for, and I'll tell you one that you're missing there that's a biggie is Risperidone.
Risperidone, yeah. So
is that like Risperdal or
there's something now.
Risperidone the generic, yeah.
Okay. We used to make fun because people would take it as an antipsychotic. They're like, "Do you hear the whispering doll?" You know, like.
Yeah. So the way you give that one is literally. So that class of drugs that he just showed, which was the antipsychotics, and I feel like we need to move on to Seroquel, Abilify. Abilify is really
an add-on, isn't it?
Let's get you out of your manic state, and I like to give Zyprexa and Risperidone in a person who's like in a emergency status, short term.
Like a med psychosis?
Yeah.
Maybe?
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
Well, let me show you. This is what I take at night, Liz, right here. It's probably going to scare you, but like, this is what I've worked up to, and trial and error all over the place. I take 200 Seroquel, I take 50 Trazodone, I take doxylamine, Benadryl, melatonin, gabapentin. And I sleep good, but it took a long time. Yeah, right. Now, once in a while, me and Will are fighting Russians, but like other than that, all right.
I sleep is fantastic.
It is. I do have bad dreams. I have some bad dreams, though. I can tell you that much. So maybe I need to.
And that's going to be that overdose of melatonin.
And if I took that every night, I don't take that every night. It's what I'm prescribed, though. And I've worked with my doctor over the course of 2 years to figure out my meds, and now I'm going to see a psychiatrist next week to take another look at him. So like,
where was I in your life?
You're about to become my psychiatrist. I saw that you take Anthem, so maybe we'll do that. Yeah, I definitely need to.
Ooh, do you take better? I'm sure you do, because you are in Northeast Georgia.
What? Better?
He's like, when I was working with Healthy Georgia, he was like down the street from me. Basically.
Yeah, out in the middle of the night.
That's how we met. Is his dad reached out for Narcan.
Yep, he was such a pain. Nice. He wanted to be the Narcan fairy. Yeah, she showed up. And we're best friends.
I've got boxes of Narcan for like the men's group, and then his dad says like, "Hey, my son has a podcast also. Would you like to meet him?" And I was like, "Sure."
Your daddy's gonna meet you out.
Yep. I brought Elizabeth right into my room where I sleep, and I know.
I was the next thing I know, I'm in like his bedroom, which is also his like office. Yeah.
It's a good life that I live. If you feel like killing yourself, dial 988 like I do right now. But like, it's like Liz came. My dad is like he's a retired anesthesiologist, and he's a good guy. He just wants to be the Narcan fairy, whatever. He's driving Elizabeth nuts. I'm telling Elizabeth, don't give him that much. Don't worry about it. He doesn't need it. So anyway, but she still showed up. So I know you did. So she was great, and your Narcan saved somebody's life. I don't know where that paper is. I've been looking for it since we started. Somebody that I shipped Narcan that you gave to us was used to save her son's life, or she says. So awesome. Good job on that. Chuck says, when I stopped drinking, my sleep was insane, either fitful and sweaty or deep and restorative. also developed an insane thirst for cold water after a week sober. Is Miss McKeon an NP? She certainly is, Chuck. She is the person you want to ask about that. Liz, what do you think about Chucky over here?
Thanks, Chucky.
He's,
What did he ask me? I need to know.
He just said when he stopped drinking, he either slept or he didn't. It was night or day. It was either restful.
Full brain on fire, right? And I think alcohol's probably, I'm gonna say, one of the roughest detoxes that you can go through, and you need help for that. Please, folks,
really do.
Just say, please don't try to do that on your own. And there's a misconception that, I was just drinking beer, or it was just wine, and it was just a box of wine, and I'm like, oh shit, that was 4 bottles a day. So
that's my mom. Yeah.
Don't try to do it on your own.
It's and so you see this. So there are in addiction recovery, there's not people that deserve it and that don't deserve it, right? It's like you see all walks of life, especially you, and you have to, you can only do so much, and you can only meet people where they're at. It's got to be so frustrating. You know what to do. You know how to fix that person's situation like that, but you can't. You have to work around these systems, and we all rotate, and we all kind of deal with it. Red tape, yep.
Not rotate.
Especially, I think I could get off on a tangent for another time, but hospital systems I think are the worst.
Liz, my dad has been sick, and he's been in and out of. He broke his hip. He was at the hospital, rehab, all that stuff. If I wasn't following him around, being his caretaker, he would have not gotten any of his medications. Every facility I went to, I'm bringing his my chart. I'm showing him all. I'm getting him on meds. But I had to do that. It wasn't automatic. And he's an old man, hurting half in, half out of it. And now he's not getting his antidepressants for 5 days and doesn't know why he can't figure out his balance. So
and that could kill him. Not having presence.
I have literally been keeping him from killing himself for the last year and a half, or since October. He fell, broke his hip. It's been bad, Liz. And
tell me.
I don't want to blow up his spot. I don't know. But I am.
It's funny for me. Like I said, this is very educational for me because there's a lot of things that there's words that I've never even heard tonight. All right, so, but from what I'm taking from this whole ordeal, like this whole show tonight is. There's 2 big things that I take from this. Lack of education that people don't know. What's available, what funding's available, stuff like that. And the lack of caring. So someone like Elizabeth comes in, and I'm just saying this because I can see you're too small for the size of your heart, Elizabeth, to be honest, the way you're talking, right? So I can see that. It's not hard to see from 4,000 miles away. I can see it. But what I'm saying is, then you got people like you, Elizabeth, and again, I'm tooting your horn a bit here, but you got people that are in positions that do give a fuck and do want to help people. And a lot of people are in positions that are just there for the paycheck or just for a job, right? And maybe that sounds bad, maybe that sounds wrong, but that's kind of what I'm taking from this. I think
you see the first second you see that person, they're there because they care or because they wanted money.
100%. And I think it's the education thing too is a huge one. I think if more people were knowledgeable about what was going on and again, I'll go back to the Elizabeth thing because you want to know. You know this shit because you want it to know and you want it to learn. A lot of people, I think, in their jobs just go 9 to 5. I'm going home to cook supper and don't think outside the box and do stuff to broaden their horizons, right? So that's what I'm taking from a lot of this tonight is the education part of it. So I'm so thankful to be listening to this, Elizabeth, because like I said, for me, I was a cocaine addict and a boozer and, mushrooms and acid and, the list goes on and on. But
you were having fun.
Yeah.
I would have hung out with him.
Old daddy had fun. That's for sure.
Right. But until it wasn't.
But pills and stuff, I never knew much about it. You know what I mean? And I don't want to. I'm scared because I'm sober now. But so a lot of the things you guys have talked about tonight is all new territory for me. So it's really good. I actually been jotting stuff down here. Look, I can't keep up. Just so you know, every fucking word is spelt wrong, but I can sound them out.
I'll have you sleeping like a baby. Just do it.
Yeah, I bet you will. Yeah.
but like I have extensive problems. I have issues. So my shit's a little bit. But they didn't just hand me all this when I went to detox. They're like, oh, you got a broken neck and you can't feel your hand. All right, we're gonna set you up right. That's not how it works. It's like it is a
Right.
process. You are fumbling your way into recovery. Help me. Who helps me? And you don't know what you're doing. Now, after 5 years of this shit, I figured it out. I knew how to get there. I knew what to do. But it took 5 years of it, and I could have died any one of those times I relapsed. And all of it was unnecessary. Now that I'm medicated, right, and I take an interest in my mental health, it has changed my life. I don't know. I don't want to die. I used to want to die all the time. I would fantasize about dying. I don't know why. I just didn't want to live. And like that's a thing inside. That's an addict thing. That was like an emotional something thing, whatever. And today, I mean, I'm still a miserable asshole, but like I like I care about this show so much now. I
You
used
have
to
something to
not
look
give a
forward
shit.
to.
Yeah, the show's not.
Yes.
If the show ended tomorrow, I'd be happy. But like
Whatever. Bullshit. Don't lie.
it's not what it's fucking 300 episodes online. But like
I mean,
to-
I have 50 shows, and I thought that was amazing. And I did that on Grand Dollars. But what you have done, Tim, like, I just want to give you a shout out because I've been knowing you now for a couple of years, and you actually helped me create a brand out of the goodness of your heart. And, you made me the cute little emoji there for me.
you're
And
easy to make cute, Liz.
oh,
No.
you're sweet. But like at the end of the day, like what we're all doing, none of us are doing it for money. We're just trying to spread the word, spread the message. And I will say this, for those of you that don't know, Tim is extremely talented in the tech industry. I mean, he was like the big guy for what was it, the Phillies or something?
Oh no, I worked in sports for a long time.
Yeah,
I
he was
worked in
like in the sports
a lot
industry
of those
for this
teams.
stuff. And
Yep.
and it comes like today, he just created. He's like, oh, here's your QR code. Here's this. Here's that. I would have spent who knows how much time like trying to figure out how to do that, or
Time and money.
I
Yeah.
have I've
Chatgpt to use. I don't know, but what you do and the way that you have done it and created this brand for yourself and for these guys is exceptional. I'm very proud to get to continue to be a guest. I really am.
I'll put you on
Awesome.
staff, Liz. You know that. Yeah,
You're
like
already family anyway, so I mean.
right, sure, family. But like, oh look, this is
You stuck
from
with
the.
us. You stuck with us.
This is technically from the interview we did in Hiawassee. I don't know.
Wow, look at us.
That's what it's from. Yeah, I went up and I did a show with Liz in Hiawassee where she's at.
Yeah,
and
he
it was
came to the lake.
It was awesome. I didn't know, I didn't expect it. I'm thinking podcast, you just sit here but they do like actual people podcasts, which is pretty show. This isn't a show, Tim. It's an AA ministry. Shut up, Chuck. Jim is in prison. Sorry, Chucky. Jimmy is serving. We have so many people that I didn't put up their comments, but like Liz, people resonate with you because you're real. Everybody knows you're real. I know. Listen. You wouldn't be back on this show regularly, or like I wouldn't have let you go if I thought you're one of those bullshit doctors or nurse practitioners, whatever. They're just throwing pills at you and kicking you out of the house. That's not you, and you're against that. And there's so few people in the community that are like her, and so I'll never let her go. She and everybody heard it. She comes on here tonight and she speaks plainly. She speaks with truth, and she has these things that are like crucial to recovery. Like Brad, I'm glad you're learning some stuff because I need you to know it for the show going forward. But other than that, like we're all just pulling in the same direction.
But one of the main things is compassion that you show, because people don't show compassion,
And she's hardwired with compassion, Will. And I don't get like I'm not like that. I mean, to an extent.
Honestly, like when you've watched a family member go through it, and I've witnessed it personally, because I am inside behind the wall, and I hear them tell me like I don't have my meds. This happened to me, and I'm able to be the advocate that can say like, hey, I'm not saying it works every time, because sometimes that nurse will bark back at me and say like, I don't give a shit. They're like, they pee dirty, so they get their Suboxone. And I'm like, yeah, but did you know the background there? Like, and so
Right.
I try to at least advocate, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It does. Liz, what's the system you use to cross-reference? I mean, I don't need name it, but there's like a program you type in their name and you see what they've been prescribed and when it's been dispensed, right?
The PMP.
Okay. Can you explain that a little bit for me? I really don't. I know my doctor does it, but I don't know.
So it's the law now that all practitioners have to put the patient's name into the prescription drug monitoring program. And it is the law, and that helps us determine if they used to say, and I think it's very stigmatic, so I don't say anymore. They used to say if they're doctor shopping.
Yep.
In 2017, that's how they told us in practice that was what we're checking for. I don't look at it that way. If I look at that person is in desperation.
Thank God.
Accordingly, like sometimes that person could be possibly redistributing medication. I get that, but that's actually rarely the case.
Yeah.
And actually,
right.
for the case, I see that the person is in desperate need of more. It's actually, say 9 times out of 10 benzodiazepine or opioids.
Yeah.
And it does not look as though it's for distribution at all. It looks as though they're in trouble.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they're
we need to talk about how that tolerance builds up.
Absolutely.
And it's funny because you just said it again, Elizabeth. You just said that in a sentence to show everybody who's listening that you think is, I know I keep blowing smoke up your ass, but it's because you're saying it with compassion and you're thinking outside of the box. No, this guy isn't window shopping or doctor shopping or whatever you call it. He's probably reaching for help because he doesn't know what to fucking do. Or he doesn't know what avenue to take.
That's his only solution.
Right.
Well, I just had a friend, and this is really getting in the weeds, but I'm going to tell it. I had a friend he's a Harley guy, right? And he's a musician. And so when you look at him, now, by the way, he's a millionaire. So let me put that out front. He's a millionaire, probably a billionaire, for God's sakes. I don't know. He's a thing.
Yeah,
but I know him. He's a friend of mine. Hey. He had an appendicitis and he went into the emergency department. Yeah. And he looks rough, like, because he's got long hair and he has his sleeves cut out and he's in boots and ripped jeans and he looks sweaty and rough, right? But that's his look. It's his band. That's how that's how they look. Yeah. Y'all, his appendix burst because they thought, and he almost died. And I went to breakfast with him and his wife this weekend, and the wife was crying and she was like, I almost lost my husband. And I'm trying to help them like navigate how to file a complaint to the hospital because he was basically perceived as a drug addict.
Right. Just a stigma.
And was not.
Right. Just by the look.
Just by looking at him.
And his daughter, who does my nails, by the way, which are fabulous, she told me that she walked into the ER and saw her dad like flailing all over the place. And she's like, my dad like this. And she started crying while she was doing my nails. And she was like, I said, oh my God, are you serious? So I did not know this had happened. So I start messaging the wife and I'm like, is this what happened? And so this is the stigma that we're dealing with in emergency departments. So bad. And I ran a behavioral health emergency department in 2016, 10 years ago, over in North Carolina, the Erlanger brand. I've been trying to teach this for a while. Yeah. And it's 10 years later, and this just happened to a friend.
It's hard. This is not. There's no instruction manual for this fucking thing. You know what I mean? That's why this is so needed. That's why you're so needed, because there isn't an instruction manual. And sometimes you bend the way you look at things to get around it. Whatever, life's life. But like to have you come on and like I wanted to ask you about something in particular. I forget. Brad, say something while I'm thinking.
I was just the first thing you said that made me think of all of us with ADHD. Squirrel.
What? What's going on? So like,
my psychiatrist is like, oh, you have like it. Oh yeah. Oh, you have like. She's like, you have like extreme ADHD and ADHD. I'm like, I know. I've been telling y'all this.
so like, I want to touch on that real quick before. I mean, it's an hour and a half, Jesus. But like, there's a lot of
I love
people
it.
still watching. We just go by how many people are still paying attention.
But you know what was fucked up is when I was in drug court, they wouldn't allow me to take any of my ADD medicine
Of course
or
not.
ADHD
Of course
at
not.
all.
It's a narcotic.
Yeah,
So I'm gonna
exactly.
throw this up, right? In recovery in the world, if you have ADD, you go to your doctor, you talk to them, and they trust you not to be an amphetamine dealer. They'll put you on Adderall or Ritalin or whatever. A lot of this usually starts in childhood, and I always thought that was crazy. We give a 7-year-old speed, but whatever. He's paying attention. He did it. So like. Now I enter recovery. I deal with my mental health, but like I came back to this ADHD thing. I'm like, I do have this, and I don't know how else to treat it. And I tried Concerta, and I tried all the fucking things that work around. Nothing really worked. It actually made me worse. So I landed on Adderall. I take extended release Adderall, one a day. It like that plus everything else. Like, Will, you take Adderall and Vyvanse too, right? Like,
I take both of them.
Jesus.
I take 70 milligrams of Vyvanse and then 30 as needed by 10 milligram tablets per day.
We won't get there. My Adderall is extended release, and I prefer
told
like
y'all I'm extreme.
Yep.
But you know what?
You and I are going to go over these slides another time, Tim.
I didn't even. These slides weren't supposed to be anything, but they have stuff I want to talk about. So, like, all right, there's a difference between amphetamines and methylphenidates, I guess. Two different things, but they're both stimulants, right? Yeah.
Correct.
All right, that's all. Those are all my questions. It's just in recovery. You said you like clonidine or like blood pressure things. That is so smart for you to say that. That to me clinically, I'm like, she knows exactly what the fuck she's talking about because I've been in detox and I've felt what clonidine does. It really helps. It brings your blood pressure down, which is like
helps your heart rate, brings blood pressure down.
So and you
can help you. Also, an alcohol detox, a beautiful thing. Even if you were a person who wanted to try to detox at home, which I do, by the way, I can detox you at home clinically, and that clonidine is used for.
Hell yeah. Like I got that. I was trying to quit smoking 15 years ago and I used clonidine and it worked for whatever reason. I smoked for a year and a half. But for you, just to hear that not only do you do that, but you're allowed to do that. I didn't even know that like you could pick up a patient and prescribe a bunch of shit. Well, actually, yes, I did know that. Yeah, okay. I've been doing that for years. So like, I'm glad that is available because if they want to go get clean and they're okay, I'll go through detox. Just help me out. That is that's such a privilege and a responsibility for you. Like
think about the patient that's an attorney. Okay, I mean, we always talk about like the fact that
I know.
There's no discrimination across addiction, right? Substance use disorder. But like, say I've got a person whose life depends on them continuing to see their clients. So say they're a doctor or an attorney, school teacher, a nurse or whatever. And they want to say like, hey, I drink 30 beers a day. And this is an actual case I have right now. I'm a 30 beer a day drinker. And so I'm like, okay, so we're at 30 beers a day and you're functioning perfectly.
Right.
But
that's his baseline.
That's your baseline. So then I'm going to be like, okay, let's get to 20.
Right.
That's harm reduction.
God,
and then let's start an Ativan taper and some clonidine so that your blood pressure doesn't get out of hand. Now, would I advise anybody listening to me to do what I just said? No, and I'm not giving advice. I'm giving a scenario. I don't give advice.
Nope.
So I'm just saying there are ways. And so it can happen that with really good guidance, and I'm going to make sure we have your blood pressure daily and all the things, there's ways to do things. And because there's people that feel like I because of what I do for a living, I can't go to a unit.
Right.
so-
But you can. I may take. Would it be a conflict of interest for you to see me?
We can talk about that outside the podcast.
Oh yeah, I'm just throwing the ideas out there. I don't even know. I just don't know how that works. And I'm good, but like, yeah, I would switch. But
yeah,
like,
not really. It's not a conflict of interest.
no, all right,
actually.
well, it's something to think about. But I trust you completely, and like I'm not like that with anybody. All the doctors I've seen, there's like 3 Elizabeths in the course of my 43 years on this planet, and that's not enough. But you're one of them.
Like, there's 3 of me. I didn't know that.
Well, the other ones aren't that pretty, and one's a man. But like they're cool, and they like they advocate. They want, and I've experienced that. The majority, I experience. Nobody gives a shit. That don't tie my name to that dude.
Well,
I'm
you
not
need to
prescribing
ditch
him
the
anything.
bitch and make the switch.
Well, I mean, you know, I'm stable now, so I can review it.
Come on.
Boys, let's let Liz go. Liz just donated 2 fucking hours of her personal time for this show.
Thank you
And,
very
like,
much, Elizabeth.
I
Very
like
nice meeting you.
it.
That
Thank
just
you,
shows it goes
guys.
to show what she is and what she's about. And you can get in touch with her. She's here, I guess. You know, call her cell phone, send her a text, DM her.
That's not my cell phone, Tim.
I
That's
know.
actually the office.
That's her home phone.
That's twice I did that. So the QR code's on the screen if anybody wants to go check her out. The left one takes you to her podcast, the right one takes her to her page. Liz, I knew it was going to go like this. I knew it was going to be beautiful. I knew you were going to do a great job, but like, you know, it's just, you know, I'm so grateful that, and all of our people, like now we have people that actually watch live, and everybody loved it. Brian DeSantis said it was boring and make Will talk. I told bro, fuck off. I'm not dealing with you, bro.
Yeah, fuck off, Brian.
Ain't nobody making me talk. Trust me.
I know for me, Elizabeth, these guys have met you. For me, being the first time getting to meet you, a fucking absolute honor, and thank you for
thank you.
educating a
really
guy who doesn't know shit about this. So I fucking like honestly mean it from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much.
Thank
I
y'all.
mean-
Well,
I appreciate it.
Thank
so
you.
much.
You were great, Liz. Thanks so much. I'll talk to you after. Thank you for coming on Talking Trash, and we love you. Everybody loves you. Get out of here, girl. God, she's the best. She is the best. I told you she was going to be the best, and she was the best. What I say, boys?
You said she was going to be the best, and she was the best.
Bethany says this has been incredible. Thank
Baby
you
up in
all.
here.
I feel safe when I know Bethany's watching.
I love her.
I just feel okay. Like we're gonna.
She's
be
like
okay.
a warm hug.
Yeah. She's like a warm hug. Love it.
Now that I let Elizabeth go, I just want to show you a couple funny things that just came across my world today. I made this for probably the Regina Pats in 2004. Now 2004 is hard to make graphics and stuff, but look at Timmy. Look what I came up. Are you kidding me? This is so
That's Guitar Hero?
That was it was so far ahead of its time. They played it in Philly. It was awesome. And then it got.
I bet y'all are
stole it.
impressed that I knew that.
Well, it's a.
It looked like it was on easy Guitar Hero though. It didn't look difficult. It was
What
on
do you call
easy
them,
mode.
easy?
But here, boys, when I play this,
Yeah.
when I play this, I have no control over the audio. But you can unmute yourselves and talk. Here we go. Ready, boy? Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Gold Stone Creamery Episode. It's like Nintendo.
That's what I was
Here we
going to say. What year was this, Timmy?
2004.
I was stone cold that or stone cold.
Number 3.
What was my
On the right. I can't pause it, Will. We're just along for the ride. Oh, getting hard.
Hey.
Getting hard. I
Oh,
love this.
stone.
3.
Dude,
I got you, son of a bitch.
you would have made it.
All right, I'm coming. So that's that.
That's fucking funny as hell.
I'm like, they're so cheesy, but I'm looking back to 2000.
That's 22 years ago, man.
Right, dude? That's crazy. Bethany, love you. There was something else we needed to get to.
Just for today.
Yeah,
that
just
too.
today. I'm just there was something else. Was there something
I know
else,
something more
Brad?
important than me.
So we
I
did the
know.
rehabs, we did
Yeah.
the check-ins, we did daily reflections.
Yeah, we're good.
I know you
let's
didn't do
clean time.
days. Yes, clean time.
Let's do some clean time. Let's do it, just because we should.
How's your meter running today?
Oh, you know what? I'll play the Carolina Hurricanes theme song while we do it.
I love you, Will.
You got
You crack me up, man.
So,
it. You hear me?
what was I doing? Oh yeah, click time. Here we go.
Squirrel!
All right, everybody. Jennifer Mansfield, 931 days. Wow. Willie D in the place to be, 968.
All there or night.
All there, all there.
1058.
Yeah, buddy.
Jimmy, way to go. Bradley, 1204. Hits the 1200s. Oh my God.
Motherfucker.
And then Jimmy, I think 1633 still. Good job, Jimmy.
Attaboy, Jimmy.
3-0 Carolina.
He's
not
Oh,
going well.
Pacing right
Why
now.
the fuck are we doing that clean time? 3-0 shit.
So it just, we don't always go an hour and a half, but when something like that happens, it's just hard not to.
It's just a
You know,
weekend.
it just, she was so good, and like she's like an actual professional. We have idiots come on the show all the time. You're looking at 3 of them. She's like she cares. You know what I mean? Like that. She
I care
caught my
too.
eye. I know
I
you do.
care
She's
about
a
these
clinician. She can.
But that's the beauty. That's the beauty of it, right? We'll have shows that go 50 minutes. We'll have shows going because we'll all get talking.
Oh, we will
and-
never go 50 minutes. It's always 59 minutes.
But I can tell you, every podcast I've been on, I never look up at the time.
How many have you
ever.
been on? How many have you been on,
Yeah.
Bradley?
I
Like
think
40.
Are you
Yeah,
cheating?
You're only 30 or 40 now.
I'm
You
a
were
little
on it.
cheater.
I
Oh,
found
you mean
your
ours? I thought you
first
meant
show.
other
It was.
I think I
like-
was 163 is when I was a guest.
3. Yeah, that was it.
I
163.
think
Then went
that's
right
when I was
back.
a
And,
guest.
oh yeah, what we have to say is Jimmy really likes to hold things to the last minute. We have 7 shows open in June. If you want to
Come
look
on,
at
come on.
this, yeah, right. If you want to look at this,
I'm
shit,
working
though,
on a couple there too, just so you know.
Yep. If this is what you want to look at, that's fine. Just don't come on the show. Then we're going to talk about Benadryl and Flexeril and all that shit. And all the slides are wrong anyway. But that's what we'll end up doing, and it's not as fun. But 7 shows. We're going to reach out to a few people that are well known or whatever. We're going to offer them back. Bethany, you'd be one of them. Thomas from Denmark is another. Steve Rabbit, your boy with the rabbits. And
Rabbit. You
Kaylin-
call me a rabbit.
Yeah, Kaylin Bender. So like I just announced to everybody. Now you got to email Jimmy and get on the show. But
Yeah.
we're gonna have people back.
I might have a couple new ones coming too, Timmy.
I know you are. I know you're working. The boys are working, and I don't know. We all believe in this shit all of a sudden. Like it was kind of goofy at the start, but now like it's really helping people. Bethany, yep, I know. We don't rush, but Bethany, yeah. I mean, I'll contact you, Beth. Like people like her, that the people who believe in what we're doing and they like flashy graphics, they hang around, and
We
it's
got a
our job
flasher.
it's our job to remember their birthdays and try to
Yeah.
try to be family to them, because they're our family. This is not like listenership.
You don't
This
want to see
started-
my tits.
I mean, you know.
I think I got a picture
Oh,
somewhere.
trust me.
All right, so Narcan saves lives. If you stick it up somebody's nose when they're overdosing and
What are
dying,
you sticking in their butt?
you squeeze it like this, and they don't die. It's amazing.
What if it
So
works?
guess
That's kind of an interesting question, actually.
you're
Well,
right.
if you pour an
no.
ounce of alcohol in your ass, you get drunk faster. So maybe
right,
you'll
let me-
maybe. Sorry, guys.
I tried that once, and
I know
it was
Did you?
yeah, oh yeah.
With
There's
Narcan
a
in
lot
your
of-
ass?
No,
butt chug.
a tampon with vodka or whatever it was, and
Oh,
I was like, it just
it
it didn't work on so many different levels.
rolling,
If you are feeling some type of way, 988 is a good resource. Talk you off the ledge there. Go to our website, Trash Dash. We got swag and shit. People still buying swag. I'm not getting any money from it. I don't know where it's all going. Our socials, we're all over the place, and we do a lot of custom content, which is kind of what fuels the show. And yes, the show looks like a minor league hockey game because I worked in minor league hockey for a long time. So there's that. We read a little something called Adjust for a Today. Yep. Oh yeah. Why would it work? That would be too much to ask. There it is. All right. Hold on. Coming, Will.
Who did it?
I'm coming.
Who done it?
Just for today. Today's is meeting today's challenge. Thank God the day's almost over. Go ahead, Will.
All right, just for today, meeting the day's challenge. The decision to ask for God's help is our greatest source of strength and courage.
Yeah.
Come on. Oh,
Hey,
hey,
thank you.
basically,
Come on.
26, you heard me.
Come on, somebody.
Okay, a challenge is anything that dares us to succeed. Things new and unfamiliar serve as challenges. Whether those things appear good or bad to us, we are challenged by obstacles and opposition from within ourselves and from without. New and difficult things,
Yep.
obstacles and opposition are a part of the life on life's terms. Living clean means learning to meet challenges many of us consciously or unconsciously took drugs to avoid meeting challenges many of us were equally afraid of failure and success. Each time we declined the day's challenges, we suffered a loss of self-esteem. Some of us used drugs to mask the shame we felt. Each time we did that, we became even less able to meet our challenges and more likely to use. By working the NA program, we found that the tools we need to successfully meet any challenges, we've come to believe in a power greater than ourselves. A power that cares for our will and our lives.
Hey, what?
Oh, okay, I got you. We've had that power to remove our character defects, those things that made our lives unmanageable. We've taken actions to improve our conscious contact with the higher power. Through the steps, we've been given the ability to stop using drugs and start living. Each day we are faced with new challenges, and each day, through working our program, our recovery, we are given the grace to meet those challenges.
Wow, he did great.
That's for today. I will ask my higher power to help me squarely meet today's challenges.
There it is.
They're kind of small. They're running together.
Will C in the place to be, killing it. Yeah, that was a good reading, Will. Oh, the people are commenting. Everybody's saying Will did a great job. Bethany, go Blackhawks. Cool, I like it. All right, 988. You want to kill yourself? Don't do it. Do that. If you're getting out of one of those treatment centers, or you're just looking for support, download Meeting Finder or NA Meeting Search. It'll help you get to support. We appreciate your support. Go to our website. There's all kinds of shit on there. Narcan saves lives. There's our girl. Not healthy Georgia, but everything else applies. And yeah, there she is. I forgot I had these. All right, Sunday we have Durand.
Look at that.
We have Durand.
Look at it.
Bethany says, I love hearing from Will. Great job. Boys,
Thank you, man.
I don't know. I love you
I
guys.
love hearing from myself too.
You guys did such a
Not
good
gonna
job
lie.
tonight. Really appreciate what you did. All right, boys. We'll see you on, what's today, Wednesday? We'll see you on
Recover
Sunday.
out loud!